Hello YouTube! It's Supernova with the Carenado King Air B200 in X-Plane 11. The Super King Air is a twin turboprop aircraft produced by Beechcraft. The aircraft has been in continuous production since 1974. The Model 200 was originally conceived as a development of the Model 100, with changes to the rear fuselage to accommodate a new T-tail, and structural changes to allow higher maximum pressurization. Other changes included replacing the 805 shaft horsepower engines of the Model 100 with Pratt & Whitney Canada PT6A-41 engines rated at 1015 shp, and an increased wingspan with extra fuel capacity. The updated Model B200 entered production in 1981. Improvements to the PT6A-42 engines rated at 850 shp resulted in greater aircraft performance, and other upgrades included changes to the cockpit layout, increased maximum pressurization, and a revised landing gear retraction mechanism. More than 6,600 King Air aircraft have been delivered to corporate, commercial, and military operators in more than 94 countries. The King Air B200 remains the baseline production model. Parking brake set. Landing gear handle down. Power levers idle. The power levers provide control of engine power from full reverse through takeoff power. Increasing N1 RPM increases engine power. When lifted over the idle detent, the power levers control the blade angle of the propellers in ground fine mode, which provides a near zero thrust setting. To select reverse power, the levers must be lifted over a second gate. Propeller levers high RPM. The propeller levers operate springs which reposition the primary governor pilot valve, increasing or decreasing propeller RPM. Condition levers cutoff. The condition levers have three positions: fuel cutoff, low idle, and high idle. The fuel cutoff position controls the opening and closing of the fuel cutoff valve. In the low idle to high idle positions, the condition lever adjusts N1 speed. In the high idle position, the engines operate at a minimum of 70% N1, resulting in faster reversing response due to less spool-up time. Cabin signs both. Cabin temperature mode off. In the auto position, the air delivery system establishes the requested temperature. The requested temperature is set through the cabin temperature level control switch. In the manual cool and manual heat positions, cabin temperature is adjusted by holding the manual temp switch down to either the increase or decrease position as required. Vent blower auto. The forward vent blower moves recirculated cabin air through the forward evaporator for air conditioning output. 75% of the recirculated air is moved through the mixing plenum and the floor outlets, while 25% bypasses the mixing plenum and is routed through the sealing outlets. Warm environmental bleed air is combined in the mixing plenum if either bleed air valve is open. In the auto position, the blower operates at low speed if the cabin temp mode selector switch is in any position other than off, in which case the blower does not operate. The low and high speed positions function regardless of the mode position. Aft blower off. The aft blower draws in cabin air, blows it across the evaporator, and recirculates it through the aft floor and sealing outlets. The aft blower operates at high speed. Radiant heat off. The radiant heating system uses overhead heating panels to warm the cabin before engine start. It should only be used with the manual temperature control mode. Microphone switches, normal. Oxygen supply pressure, check. Circuit breakers, in. Pilot static source, normal. Separate static input is provided for the pilot and co-pilot instruments, with ports on either side of the aft fuselage. If the pilot static system is plugged, an alternate air tube obtains static air from inside the unpressurized rear fuselage. The pilot static air source valve handle is moved to the alternate position to select it. Fuel firewall valves closed. Fuel is filtered through a firewall-mounted 20-micron filter. The filter incorporates an internal bypass. When open, the bypass permits fuel supply to the engine in the event of filter icing or blockage. Circuit breakers, in. Standby pumps, on. DC power for standby pump operation is supplied from the dual-fed buses. During shutdown, both standby pump switches and the crossfeed flow switch must be placed in the off position to prevent battery discharge. The left or right red fuel pressure light illuminates on the warning annunciator panel in the event of a low-pressure, engine-driven boost pump failure. Activation of the standby boost pump on the side of the failure increases pressure and extinguishes the light. Battery switch on. DC power is supplied by a 24-volt battery and two 30-volt starter generators. Fuel firewall valves open. The left and right fuel pressure lights should extinguish. Note the lights may remain illuminated if using the X-Plane 11 beta. Standby pumps off. Auxiliary transfer auto. When auxiliary fuel is available, fuel is automatically transferred to the nacelle tank. Fuel quantity check. Annunciator lights test. The left and right DC generator caution annunciators are illuminated as the generators are offline. The left and right bleed air off annunciators are illuminated because the environmental bleed air valves are closed. The hydraulic fluid low annunciator will extinguish during engine start. Rotating beacon on. A rotating beacon functions as an anti-collision light. It should be on whenever the engine is running. Right engine auto ignition arm. This arms the igniter circuit to an engine torque switch that is normally open when the engine is developing more than 400 foot-pounds of torque. The system must be armed before takeoff and during all phases of flight. It should be turned off only after landing. This step is required during engine start for the X-Plane 11 beta and may be performed later for release versions. Right ignition start on. The on position provides for engine cranking and ignition operation. Right fuel pressure, check extinguished. Monitor N1 until stable above 12%. Right condition lever, low idle. ITT and N1 monitor. ITT should not exceed 1000 degrees Celsius. Right oil pressure, check. Right condition lever, high idle. Monitor N1 until stable above 50%. Right ignition start, off. Right generator, on. The generator can be turned on with the condition lever in the high idle position, and N1 is at approximately 70%. Charge battery, load equals 0.5. Right generator, off. Left engine auto ignition, arm. Left ignition start, on. Left fuel pressure, check extinguished. Monitor N1 until stable above 12%. Left condition lever, low idle. Right generator, on. ITT and N1 monitor. Left oil pressure, check. Monitor N1 until stable above 50%. Left ignition start, off. Left generator, on. Right condition lever, low idle. Inverter, check both, select. DC power is supplied to one of the two operating inverters, which provide 400 Hz, 115 volt and 26 volt AC power for engine instruments and avionics. DC voltage load, check. AC voltage frequency, check. Avionics master, on.
Red Hill Information India. 1100 Zulu.
I hope you enjoyed that look at the Carenado King Air B200. Feel free to like, comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you again for the next X-Plane video.